This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Sam I Analyze Show. NBA free agency kicks off at 6 p.m. today. But there have been a lot of moves already being made. What would you like to see the Knicks do? What should the Knicks do? There are a lot of rumors going on right now. Let's analyze. Well, first and foremost, the Knicks need to find a leader. The Knicks need to find a leader. They need to find a coach. And supposedly, there are some guys and a gal in one Don Staley who was reached out to by Leon Rose and the Knicks for their head coach vacancy. According to league sources, the Knicks are bringing back Mike Brown and Taylor Jenkins. Micah Nori is still being considered, but they also reached out supposedly to South Carolina's Dawn Staley. When I heard that, I'm like, the Knicks are being progressive. All right, cool. Here's the deal, though. As accomplished as Coach Staley is, I do not believe, 55 years young and national champion in 2024, and she's well accomplished and all of that. I don't think the Knicks could, the same way a guy like Johnny Bryant has not been interviewed yet. I think you've got to, first of all, applaud Leon Rose and Worldwide Wes and company for leaving all stones unturned. So the Knicks are doing as they do, their due diligence as they've done under one Leon Rose. But, I was going to drop the video on this yesterday, and I'm like, the Dawn Staley thing, I think they called or whatever, and I think she would definitely have interest, I believe. She would be the first of woman head coach in the NBA. But I find it hard to believe that the Knicks would get rid of an accomplished Tom Thibodeau, two-time coach of the year in the NBA. He brought the Knicks to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years? You fire him to bring in a novice? Now, I get it. Look, listen. Please don't listen to what I'm saying to you. Coach Staley has never coached in the NBA, as accomplished as she is. You cannot fire a Tom Thibodeau to give her the opportunity. And I know it would be great headline and everything, very progressive by the Knicks. But you cannot. Here's the thing that puts the Knicks a little bit in a bind. And that's why I think Johnny Bryant I don't think he's being considered, but who knows? I think that the Knicks are in a very a weird situation because of the statement they released when they fired Tibbs. The Knicks are looking to take the next step. See, you cannot say you're looking to take the next step, but then you're bringing a novice, or as Clyde would say, a neophyte. You can't bring a rookie into the fold. You cannot do this. That's why I believe you're not hearing about a Johnny Bryant. Now, Nori is a guy who was coaching with Chris Finch when he hurt his knee, and he was a head coach there, so he did coach for a little bit, so I don't think it's the same deal with him. But I think, for me, I think the Knicks and Jason Kidd somehow, I don't know, I keep reading somewhere the extension, his coaches are not being retained, and then, he still hasn't received an extension. Look, man, I don't see how Jason Kidd, and I don't know why Jason Kidd, there's this love affair with Jay Kidd. I get it. Look, he's a leader of men in the locker room and everything, and Giannis loves him. and so does Jalen Brunson. We've got to get you paid, Jalen. That was great and all. But to me, get me Mike. It's between Mike Brown and I like Jenkins. You know, I also said in my the video prior to this, I'm like, are they going to call Mark Jackson? Probably not. And that's a guy who should get a chance. I mean, could you imagine if they brought Mark Jackson back? That's not going to happen. So I think it's going to come down to those guys. And then a dark horse is who else? No, I think it's going to be one of those guys, to be honest with you. But free agency is here. Oh, Borrego is also out there. Former coach for the Charlotte Hornets. I mean, look, listen, anybody from the Popovich tree, you see what Ime Udoka is doing with Houston, what he did with the Celtics. Look, I trust the Knicks to get it right. Now, not only do I trust the Knicks to get that head coaching right, but they've got some things they've got to handle in the 2025 free agency. And they've got to take care of their own, right? You've got Mitchell Robinson, who's up for an extension. And you've got Mikal Bridges, who could sign a 4-year, just under $160 million deal. I expect... Now, there are rumors. Last week, you're hearing Mitchell Robinson, Mikal Bridges are being discussed in trades. When I heard this, I'm like, yeah, makes sense. And maybe this news is leaking. Maybe it's by design by Leon Rose and the Knicks to let these guys know, hey, you guys don't want to re-sign and work with us with the deals and the contracts. We can move y'all too. Now, I don't see the Knicks moving Mikal Bridges. They gave up 5 first-round picks, but who knows? You're going to give Mikal Bridges up for a bag of beans? I don't know. I don't think so. And he played well in the playoffs. You're going to get rid of Mitchell Robinson, who clearly showed his worth against Boston, Haka Mitch, against Detroit, Haka Mitch, against the Pacers. I think they did it once or twice. He just couldn't hit his free throws. See, Mitch to me has earned the bag. Or I remember when he got paid, I got me a little bag. And the Knicks to me would be foolish. And I get it. Look, one thing I can't stand with this NBA is the collective bargaining agreement, because you can no longer go above and beyond to sign your players, and you've got to play. You know, it's a chess game now. It's disgusting. I don't like it. But I expect the Knicks to handle their business. Look, listen. I got to looking, and I'm like, what do I want? What if I had my wish list? I mean, who would you want the Knicks to get? I think first and foremost, these guys are not free agents, but the Knicks have to get them signed, right? Because you don't want a situation where you're losing guys like Mikal Bridges or Mitchell Robinson, like they lost an Isaiah Hartenstein, where they didn't have his bird rights and they couldn't go above what iHeart, the NBA champion iHeart now. If you're the Knicks, you don't want to go into a situation where Mitchell Robinson is not taken care of and Mikal Bridges is not taken care of. And I think those guys are very important pieces for the Knicks to go into next year and be in contender. Now, there were some players out there that I was intrigued by, right? I know a lot of Knicks fans, a lot of Knicks fans are like, oh, we got to do this, we've got to do that. I know a lot of you don't like Campaign, and I think Campaign, did you see Campaign in Greece with Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart and company? I don't know if Mikal Bridges was the one filming it or if he was there too, but he didn't show up on the video. But but Campaign is very close to Mikal Bridges, and I think the Knicks are very big on family, friendship, camaraderie. You see that they just drafted Pacome Dadier's good friend from the French League. So this is not by accident. I think this is something that the Knicks got from Scott Perry. Scott Perry was doing stuff like that. I think that's where they got that. So I don't know, Campaign being gone, Not so fast. Now, just to appease Knicks fans who can't stand campaign, the Knicks need a ball handler, a guy who can get guys involved. Now, I'd like to see what Tyler Kolek does in the summer league, right? I'd like to see. But there's some guys out there like Malcolm Brogdon, 32 years young. He's out there. And then you've got a guy in Chris Paul. I always wondered, is this the year Chris Paul finally becomes a Knick? I don't know. Chris Paul wants to go to the Clippers, or I forgot the other team that he was tied to. Oh, back to Phoenix. I guess he just wants to play ball and just be by his family. At this point, I mean, if you have an opportunity to play for the Knicks, who are contenders, I mean, the Clippers are too, I guess, but I don't know. That's up to you. But there's Ty Jones, man. Ty Jones is out there, and that's a guy who almost became a Knick in the offseason, but then the Knicks went with campaign. See, I don't know if he's going to be willing to just play a handful of minutes. And again, Tibbs is not here anymore, so we don't know. But it's going to be very interesting to see how the Knicks handle that. I like Malcolm Brogdon, and we're going to see, or Ty Jones, we're going to see there. But I think, for me, I think the Knicks bring everybody back and get a good coach. Get a coach, and Brown is kind of, I'm warming up to Coach Brown, because, I mean, this guy, he coaches both sides of the ball, and he will get guys involved. Now, there's another thing going into this offseason that's being thrown out there. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Vegas has the Knicks getting him. I don't know how I feel about that. I get it. Giannis is great. He's a superstar. What is it? 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, champion, and all of that in his prime, right? The Knicks have to be very careful, though. Very careful. Because I believe that Karl-Anthony Towns is unstoppable. I think there's a level he still hasn't reached. And I think if he's coached up the right way, I think he can be a nightmare. Now, defensively, he's not good at all. Awful. But, I mean, man, listen, Brunson and Cat, they were, I think a lot of the stuff that you saw with Cat, even defensive errors, were because he was injured. He's never been an all-world defender, but I think Cat, to me, has potential to be better for this Knicks team. Now, the reason why I say I'm kind of, it's up in the air when it comes to Giannis is because Milwaukee's going to want the house, the farm. I mean, I heard somewhere where it would, first of all, start off with a Karl-Anthony Towns, but then you may have to throw a Mikal Bridges or possibly a Josh Hart into the mix. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather get a good coach with a new system and, fill in the gaps, bring back some of the guys you have now who did not get any run under Tibbs and run it back. I really want to run it back. As great as Giannis is, I'm not giving you Cat. I'm not giving you Mikal Bridges and a Josh Hart and draft swaps. I'm not doing that. For what? You get Giannis with Brunson and you're winning the title. I'm not decimating my team for Giannis. I love Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think he would be great for the city and all. But if you're telling me it's going to be more than, it should really honestly be Karl-Anthony Towns, a few picks, and a player, but you're not getting Mikal and Cat. No, you're not. Not happening. So if you're Leon Rose and this is what they offer, that's when they, this number is disconnected. If the Bucks call the Knicks for that, not happening. Run it back. Run it back, y'all. Just run it back and hang up on Milwaukee. Let Giannis go somewhere else. I'm sorry, y'all. That's where I stand with that. But what say you? Knicks fans? Giannis, all our bust? What do you want the Knicks to do in the offseason? I told you, I want a point guard. Go get Brogdon. See if CP3 would be willing to come to the Knicks. But I doubt it. He wants to stay in the West Coast. So we're going to see. Now, what say you? Now it's that time. Ace Bailey is finally warming up to being a Utah Jazz. He gets the quote of the day. Just blessed to be in the position I am. Yeah. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Folks, I'm on most social media platforms at SamIAnalyze. Please like, share, subscribe, and you see that notification bell to the right. Please click on that. That will let you know the next time I drop another video. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, a tout à l'heure.